All right, we are live now. What's up, JoJo?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How about you?
Ready for week 4, man. Can't believe this season's already about to be a month old.
Seriously, that's crazy. Did you watch the game yesterday?
Of course. Guys,
I was
I have
actually
my
pretty good
showdown
game,
slates. You know, I have my DFS showdown slates on there. I did not have CJ Uzoma. That's for sure. So I did not win.
Yeah, I don't
I
think you
did
made
cash,
it.
but
Whoever did want money though.
absolutely. He was in the million winning lineup. Yeah, I did not have any CJ Uzoma, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm glad I started Joe Burrow, man. He came through for me. Thank God.
I made the
20
switch
points.
to him in a season-long league from Tannehill. So if anybody's still holding on to Tannehill, I already cut bait with him. Joe Burrow
That's
was
what
on
I did.
and it paid off for me. I got obviously 6 points past his projection, so it started off the week pretty good for me.
Nice, man. Me too.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's at least my first win. Super excited.
Me too in that league, actually.
Yeah. If you have Tannehill, most likely you're losing.
Yeah, man, it's been so bad.
That's the trend.
So bad.
Yeah, let's get into the matchups today. We're going to go through the matchups, and then give you guys our good fellas, our jabronis, and then our pickups for the week. We don't have Brian today, fortunately or unfortunately. I don't know.
I know. I guess that's up to you guys. Do you think? No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
They're like, thank God.
Yeah, thank God. We don't have to see his
We
big
love Brian.
beard and his bald head. But yeah, he gave us his good fellas and jabronis and his pickums as well. So we'll announce that when we get there. But what's the first matchup we're going to go through, Joey?
Washington, Atlanta.
Washington, Atlanta. All right, who I like this game? Calvin
They're both-
Ridley, obviously. You're starting him.
Got to start
It's
some
gonna
of
be
these.
It's going to be I think it's going to be a high scoring game. Redskins,
I think so too.
not Redskins,
Right.
Washington. Washington's defense has not looked as good as they supposed to be this year.
Oh man, it's I went on a limb in our league that we're in together in the 10th or 11th round or something. I picked them, and I usually say go wait till later, but that's obviously not working out.
That's why you wait till later. You never know with defenses. It's like you think they're going to be really good.
And like, so here's the thing, like, again, I want to point that drive this home is that we try to pick defenses, or at least like, you know, if you play a defense or you drafted a defense, you want the defenses that apply pressure. Like that's the best way for defensive success. Like if they apply enough pressure, that's how the sack fumbles or picks come off because of tip passes, XYZ. And then obviously you get points for sacks, but the defense can apply pressure and they have a great front four, but they just haven't put it together.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's going to be pretty high scoring, which that's why I like Ridley. I think you could start Pitts with confidence. Well, you're going to start him anyways. Actually, Russell Gage is injured. So I think I don't think you're starting
a case.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to – I mean, if you're really in a deep league, anything past a 14 team, you could probably look at them and maybe a DFS long shot in a GPP. But even the run game, like I'm a little nervous about with Mike Davis, although he pops up in a lot of optimal lineups. Cordell Patterson, he's on a hot streak right now.
Yeah, he's really cutting it in there, and he's looking pretty good.
Do you think he's worthy of a flex spot?
Yeah, I think he's definitely worthy. He's been getting the touchdowns. I mean, I think he's touchdown dependent, but in a game like this, I feel like he could pull through and get another touchdown.
And
so he's flex worthy. Washington side, I think Heineke's a good stream play. You know, Atlanta's pass defense is they let up a lot of points. I think they're 29th right now against fantasy quarterbacks. So Heineke's a good streamer if you need to put someone in there. If you had a Ryan Tannehill and you want a guy who can get you possibly 15 to 20 points this week, go with him.
And he has a good rushing floor too. He takes off a little bit. He's athletic, and he could get you some points on the ground too. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's okay. And then McLaurin, obviously, light him up. Gibson was hobbled this week in practice, but obviously you're starting him. So I think in this game, you're starting most of the key guys, and then you could possibly stream Heineke. And what do you think about Matt Ryan? Is he a streamer for you?
Only in DFS as a GPP for like a stack. Other than that, like I wouldn't. It's tough. I mean, because if we both think that, I just think you're not going to need him in a standard 12 team or a 10 team league.
There's other guys out there you could stream.
Yeah. But yeah, if there is some confidence because I am going to throw him in a GPP lineup here. However, I think it's worth mentioning too. Curtis Samuel's coming back. You were high on him because he's a former Panther, of course, but
I can't wait
what
to
do you
see him back. It's just unfortunate that Brian picked him up in the league, so now I have to cheer against him. So it's like,
Oh, man. Yeah. But you know what? Look, it'll just be interesting to see. I think it's like for Curtis Samuel, if you have a bench spot, and especially if you have an IR slot, I'm not sure if the IR tag is still next to his name in ESPN leagues or Yahoo leagues, but if it is, dude, stash him. Like, why not? It's worth monitoring because he is supposed to be the wide receiver too. I think De'Ami Brown snaps could diminish. I think Adam Humphries is there to stay. I think he is the slot guy there, but definitely worth monitoring there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew says Matt Ryan fell off. It's crazy. I think that's a lot to do with also the new offensive coordinator. Yeah, it's just
Arthur Smith. I think they're trying to find the right recipe for the personnel to run Arthur Smith's offense. So there is going to be bumps in the road. So I think these first couple games and maybe even a couple more until they really find their groove with Arthur Smith's offense and scheme. For
sure. What's the next matchup we have there?
Houston and Buffalo. This one's going to be pretty quick just because there's not really much on Houston's side. I think it's just Cooks. It's just Cooks. Yeah, you're going to start him. But I will say that Trey White has been shadowing in the past. And I think he is going to be seeing a lot of Brandon Cooks just because there's really nothing else on that offense that really scares you. So you might see some other production from other random players, but there's nothing that you would really start with confidence on that team. Davis Mills, I think, is getting his next start. You kind of just want to root for the young kid, but definitly want to start him for fantasy. Anything there before I go to Buffalo?
No, go to Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo, play the dudes. I'm going out on a limb, and I don't even think it's a limb. I mean, I just think Diggs is due, right? I think this is either a get right spot for him, for anybody that drafted him maybe late first round or early second to kind of see their investment, pop up there. The other thing I think is something to note is because there are 17-point favorites, I think, or is it just 14? I think they're 17. Fantasy Labs here. Yeah, I have it up here. But regardless, I'm expecting them, or at least like Zach Moss and Singletary, to get a good workload. It's a 17.5. That's the largest.
I mean, it's hard not to start like everybody on Buffalo, like even Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley, Zach Moss. I don't know about Singletary, maybe.
Go ahead.
It's sketchy for me. But how about Dawson Knox? What do you think of him?
Yeah, I was about to say just that, like, even with the fringe players like Singletary or Dawson Knox or Gabe Davis, even like those kind of players, even if they're up by 20, I mean, that means they're going to be putting up a lot of points early on anyway. So those touchdowns are going to be to some people. But you can expect like the normal guys, Diggs, Cole Beasley, and even Manny Sanders to be in your lineups. Josh Allen, of course. But outside of that, it's just kind of making those decisions that fit your roster.
Yeah, all right. And start Bill's defense too. It should be a good start.
What's up, Tyler? Appreciate you coming on, man.
Zeke or Barkley?
ROS. I'm not sure. It was like rostered. I guess. What's ROS mean?
I'm not sure. I'm just guessing who to start, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing that too. And I think Zeke might be I don't want to say fade, but I like Zeke more this week because those guys are two top backs. So I don't want to say like fade one of these two guys, but maybe for DFS purposes, I would say that. But I like Zeke more. What do you like? Oh, rest of season.
Zeke or Barkley rest of season. I have Zeke on my roster, so I'm gonna be a little bit biased here and go Zeke. Just I don't trust the Giants offensive line, and they have a lot of weapons there, so I'm not sure how much PPR factor Barkley's gonna be. And I don't know if your league's a PPR league, but and also the health for Barkley is up in question still. So all that put together, I'm going with Zeke.
I think everybody that watches the Mafia is going to be in a PPR league. Come on, we already deaded out these.
Yeah, it has to be
these other leagues, right? Anyway, but Barkley does have Dallas, Philly, and Chicago late in the season for fantasy playoffs. Chicago's a tough run defense. Philly is known to have a better run defense with Javon Hargrave and Fletcher Cox active. So I guess I would say mediocre to downgrade matchups in the playoffs for him. While Elliott, I'm looking at his right now. I'm more partial. I'm leaning Elliott right now, but I'll let this will confirm it if I see his last late season.
Andrew chooses Zeke, so that's a fantasy expert right there.
And he's got Arizona and Washington, and even sees the Giants too in Week 15. I'm leaning Zeke. The rest of the season just looks better for Zeke, and the offense is just better. So there you go.
There you go. There's your answer. I think we covered Bills, Texans already. What's next?
Yeah, we did. We're good there. Detroit and Chicago.
Detroit, Chicago. Oh man. We're gonna see if I don't know who's starting for the Bears because Matt Nagy won't say anything, which is really annoying, by the way.
You know what? No, but I give Nagy credit for this. All right. He may not be able to call a game, especially because he doesn't realize that Dalton and Justin Fields are different styles, right? But at least he's not tipping his hat for Detroit to prepare for just Dalton or for Fields. Right now they have 2 game plans, and right until game time, Detroit's like which game plan are we going to go with? So I think that's a smart move by Nagy. I just want to give him a little credit there. But
do you think he has 2 game plans or just 1 game plan? And
no, I'm talking about Detroit. I'm talking about Dan Campbell. Their defense has to game plan for either one because he's keeping that close to the vest, like who's starting. But on the other side, handsome Gase or Adam Gase reincarnate really is Matt Nagy. He's just a better looking version of Gase. He doesn't have eyes. You know what I mean? But he just screwed Justin Fields over in that game. That was a horrible game plan. I mean, I hope he took notes of Urban Meyer last night because that's how you run read option with an athletic quarterback. I mean, he was shredding the defense. Cincinnati's not that great, but still, he put his young quarterback in a position to succeed. Matt Nagy, take notes. Other than that, this could be a surprise spot. Even if Dalton starts, right? He's coming off an injury. He might not be that mobile. Detroit's not a great pass rush, but Dan Campbell in all the games, they've been competitive, right? I mean, against the San Francisco Giants, it went to overtime. No one thought that was going to happen. And he played Aaron Rodgers tough for a half. So don't be surprised if Detroit comes out fighting and maybe they pull off an upset here.
This might be my upset pick. Who knows?
But let's just go with the picks here. You're starting the normal guys with Detroit. I don't think there's going to be any disagreement from either one of us. It's going to be
DeAndre Swift,
Jamal, Swift, and Hawkinson, right?
Yeah.
And then Chicago, Demont, home favorite. He gets goal line work. He has passing game work. You want to play Demont against a soft Detroit team. And then I like A-Rob this week as well. I think he's going to get right. Outside of that, I'm not
come back this week.
Yeah, so it's just those 2 for me for Chicago. Maybe even Cole Kmet. That's a dark horse, but don't put a lot of stock in that. But I mean,
would you start a Justin Fields or a Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins by far. Yeah,
I don't have too much trust yet in Justin Fields.
It's just because I don't trust Nagy. Yeah, that's the real reason. I love the kid, and I think he's a great player. It's just Matt Nagy, I don't think knows how to use him. Hasn't shown.
How about Jamal Williams or Zach Moss?
Against Chicago, Jamal knows Chicago pretty well because of Green Bay. And obviously Detroit's in the same division. But I will say I like Jamal. I think he gets a lot of work. Zach Moss, you don't know. There's no really guarantee there. So I'm leaning Jamal on that one.
All right. I think me and Joey are going to agree on this one and pick Zeke, Najee, and Swift. I think that because we just talked about Swift, he's a must start now. Swift he's getting PPR.
He's RB3 right now too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Najee is with Claypool's going to be out the game versus Green Bay, so that could possibly open up some catches again for Najee. Zeke is a must start. Jonathan Taylor has been iffy lately. I think Joey's
stay to the end. Yeah, stay to the end. I might have a little comment on John Taylor for our Goodfellas and Jabroni picks.
Yeah, stay tuned for later.
Yeah. Oh, Andrew, I know their defense is trash, but there's some things I want to bring up for that regarding the John Taylor Miami matchup. But anyway, Khalif, appreciate you guys. Or no, as I'm talking about Monir, Tyson or Javonte or Damian Harris this week.
That's funny. I had these 3 on my team just a few days ago, but I made a trade.
But what do you like this week?
I would go Javonte this week.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you on that one too. It's very tough to run on Tampa Bay, which is Damian Harris's matchup, and also because he doesn't get a lot of passing work. I expect Tampa Bay to be smashing 50 burger on him. I know Tom Brady's going to come into Foxborough, coming for blood, and then Tyson Williams. little by little, he's just getting touches taken away because it's a running back by committee. So I'm leaning Javonte. His touches are going up. So that's the reason why I go there.
Yeah, and the PPR is limited. And Javonte, he's looking the opposite of Tyson. He's getting more carries. He's getting more looks in the passing game each week and leading it to Melvin Gordon's. And Melvin Gordon is actually a little bit banged up, so I don't know how much they're going to run him next game. So, yeah, start Javonte with confidence.
Oh, what did you trade those three guys for, though, as a follow-up? Because you mentioned on his comment there. You had those same three.
Okay, let's get to that.
We'll get back to Tyler's. But
Tyler here was first. 20 teams. Half PPR, tight end premium, super flex.
Oh, damn, tight end premium.
For Malcolm Brown for Desean Jackson. We really need an RB2, but I think it might be too much. Rams offense is so explosive. Yeah, it is, but Desean is just, he's so boom or bust, and he'll have these crazy boom games, and he'll disappear for most of the season. And I don't know if it's going to be like that with the Rams, but if you really need that RB2 and you're desperate for an RB, Malcolm Brown, he's not too bad. I mean, he'll get some carries, especially if you're in a deep league like that. He's someone who's going to get a couple carries a game. So, yeah, I'll go Malcolm.
Yeah,
Brown.
Even Brian even said that like Malcolm Brown's gonna before the season. And he's a Miami fan. He's like, we thought Myles Gaskin was supposed to be the guy, but it's kind of a running back by committee there, but not too much. But Malcolm Brown is going to get snaps. Yeah, I feel you there. I obviously the most explosive player there is Desean Jackson, and he is more. I will say this: I would give it one more week if possible. I don't think this is a trade that has to be done now, because it's not like rattling anybody's starting lineup in a massive way. That's the reason why I say that. So if you can talk to the guy and say, like, let's just wait till this week's over. And after 4 weeks, you make a move like this. Because what if Desean Jackson does get more work in this game? I mean, he just had one. I was there at the game against Tampa Bay. He got loose 3 times. One time, Matt Stafford's arm got hit. That's why it was underthrown. The other one was a fat underthrow. He just barely did not get to him. And then they finally went back to it like the first drive out of the third quarter, and he was still open. So the success that it was open for 3 times against a defense like Tampa Bay, maybe they're trying to take more shots with this offense. So I would wait and see a little bit before you give up Desean. Again, if you do need that roster spot, positional eligibility and filling out a roster is more important than Desean Jackson just sitting on your bench because you're not going to use him. So with that being said, pull the trade. But if you can wait, hold off and see what he does.
Mustafa, Swift, and Hawkinson starting in the same league. No, you can do that. They're both going to be pretty. They're both going to put up some numbers most games. So it's not like they're taking away from each other. They're both the primary options on the offense. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah, I agree there.
Where are you from, Mustafa? I'm curious. Munir, what did you trade for those 3 guys for?
Tyson, Javonte, and Damien. It was a follow-up.
I traded. I think he's asking me. I traded. I traded for Javonte. I traded Allen Robinson, and I got Javonte and Chenault.
But you have Tyson and Damian Harris on that team.
I had Tyson. I traded him away, and I ended up getting. I traded him and a couple others for Josh Jacobs and Robert Woods. So I got rid of Tyson and I added Javonte.
It's a big trade. It was a good trade. Egypt to Cuba.
Wow.
There you go.
That's
some food coloring right there.
Yeah.
Props. Awesome. All right. Do we finish that matchup? Yeah, we did. I think we're on Carolina and Dallas, unless you want to talk about B-Dubs' question real quick.
Oh, man. Considering like Michelle looked pretty good the other game, Henderson's a little banged up. So I do expect Michelle to eat more into Henderson's carries, especially they paid up for him, or they made a trade for him for a reason. I don't think Henderson's going to be that bell cow that he was in the beginning of the year. So he's still the number 1 guy on the team. I'm saying probably like 70-30 split.
I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be like 80-20, 90-10. If Henderson's healthy, he is the guy. if he's still hampered anyway, I don't disagree with Yosef's split there. I just think before he got hurt in week 2, he was prepared to get 90% of the carries. So that's the reason why I come up with that. But definitely dominant Hendo, I think, is what you can pull from the two of us here. But I think if he's getting the full go, and I think his tag came off, so I don't even think he's a game time decision. So I think he's ready to go. So that's just where I'm at.
Andrew, you're going 1-3 this week, so don't talk. Plus, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna beat your brother this week. I already got 20 points from Burrow. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, so Dallas, Carolina, Dallas. Go ahead, start it off.
You're welcome, buddy. Subscribe and like. Don't forget.
That's right.
What's Carolina, Dallas? Oh man, I'm so excited for this game. I think Carolina's gonna show a role that they're made of. But I think you can stream Sam Darnold for sure. I know he's without McCaffrey, and you can have Diggs shadowing DJ Moore most likely. So this could be a breakout game for Robbie Anderson. I know people are down on him, but this could be a game where, and plus they got rid of Dan Arnold, so that's another targets that are going to be deterred Robbie Anderson's way. McCaffrey's not there. Chuba is not the pass catching back that McCaffrey is. They're not going to feed him the ball as much. And then DJ is going to be covered by Diggs. So possibly, finally, could be Anderson's game to break out. So I'm not saying you should start him, but if you have him on your bench, maybe this is the game where you might want to put him in. And I'm not going to do that because I think I have better options. But I wouldn't be surprised if he breaks out this game.
Yeah, if he's on the bubble, I wouldn't just leave him on the bench. I think you should give him a shot just because I believe Trayvon Diggs is the real deal. He took his lumps his rookie season, and this kid is coming out the gates just with like a man on a mission. Fun fact, him and his brother, Safon, they both have a catch in every game. I know one's on the offense and one's on defense, but Trey Diggs has a pick in every game. He's going to be matched up on DJ Moore. So that's the reason why I say that. Robbie Anderson, Anthony Brown is a matchup. It's a soft matchup. Potentially he gets up deep, but I wouldn't expect a lot of volume. So it's just one of those things like ceiling play. He's on a bubble between one and one other guy, and I can use maybe a big playability in my lineup. Throw out Robbie. He's a GPP option for me for DFS as well. So I agree with Yosef there as well.
Yeah, on the Dallas side, he mentioned he's starting pretty much all the guys: Prescott, the Lamb, Cooper, and then we have a question here: Cedric Wilson or Frisker this week.
Oof. And this is Tyler. I think he's in the 20-man league because, I mean, I don't know if many people will be having this kind of roster decision.
Yeah.
But Ferkser is coming back. I did see that. I'm trying to think who's Carolina's slot defender, just because J.C. Horn went out, but C.J. Henderson's filling in, and you got
C.J. Henderson might be limited this game because they said he hasn't caught up to the playbook. So I know they're getting C.J. Boye back from suspension.
Yeah.
So he could fill in for his first game in the slot. But
you know what? I'm gonna go with Ferkser just because obviously with the AJ Brown and Julio being out, I might give Ferkser an opportunity. I mean, this could be a big Derrick Henry week because but if I'm Robert Saleh and the New York Jets, put 8 people in the box every play. Make Nick Westbrook, Akina, and Chester Rogers beat you. But I would say give the Ferk Daddy a shot here, especially if you don't have a better tight end in that 20-man league, Tyler.
Yeah, agreed. Andrew, I'm cheering for the Chargers now, even if I have Diggs on my team, just because you're hating on Panthers. Plus, Diggs, you say Diggs is going to stop him? He's going to be on DJ Moore. I think Anderson's going to.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be times where both. I'm sure there's going to be times where they switch sides and stuff. That always happens because of the strengths and things like that. But primarily, I think Diggs is going to be on DJ Moore. Yeah.
All right. Next matchup.
You got Indy and Miami. And I'll kick this one off. I'm not going to give away too much with the John Taylor stuff, but I mean, if you have him, you got to start him just because of Miami's soft matchup against the run. I like Nahim Heinz in a big way here as like a flex option. So he is getting the 2-minute drill work, the third down work. He's getting a lot more of the targets. Michael Pittman's another option in the offense, but I wouldn't trust too much more than that. What about you?
Yeah, I agree there. Also, Michael Pittman is probably going to go up against Xavier Howard, so you might want to.
Yeah.
If you have better options, you could pull him, but I doubt you have a better option than Pittman. I'm starting him personally, just because he's got such a high target volume that he's bound to do something, especially in a PPR league. And they will move him around. Sometimes he plays in the slot, sometimes he plays out wide. So he's not always going to be matched up against Howard. And Brian Jones, what's his name? Brian Jones. Yeah,
Byron.
he's not been that great this season. People have been, passing him by. So yeah, you can still start Pittman. Also keep a lookout, make sure Wentz is starting, because if he doesn't start, you're gonna have Eason in the game, and that really lowers the value on most offensive players. And the Dolphins defense is pretty good, so look out for that. But yeah, you're starting Pittman and Taylor on the Colts offense, not really anybody else. And as far as the Dolphins, Brissett starting again. So I think the only one I would feel confident in starting, well, maybe not too confident, but you'll probably start Waddle. He had 12 receptions last game?
Yeah, no, I think what's his name? Fuller is going to be out this game. I think or at least he was. I know he was. I got questionable tag. I know he got hurt on one of the deep balls towards the end of the game. So watch Will Fuller's status. But if he's out, even if he's in, I'd still like Waddle more than any of the other receiving options. But Gesicki is obviously developing a chemistry with Brissett. I think he is the best option, safe floor wise in Miami, and then deep wise or long shot ceiling play is definitely Jaylen Waddle.
Michael Carter for Pittman. No, give me Miles Sanders. I'll do it.
For sure.
The Jets offense is just so bad. I like Michael Carter, but I mean,
probably scores his first touchdown this week, though. I mean, who knows? Do you trust Olamides Zacchaeus against Washington secondary? Do I trust him? No. Would you play him and take a shot, especially in the league that you're in, Tyler? Possibly. I mean, I think when you're in that deep, anybody that has a pulse, really, and he does have a pulse because he did get work against Tampa Bay even. I saw when I was watching, I mean, I don't have Sunday ticket or anything, but I was monitoring the game on Gamecast, and I saw a few targets go his way. So, yeah, why not?
He'd probably be the second receiver.
Yeah, with Gage out.
Gage is out, and Washington's secondary has been suspect. So, in your deep league, yeah, I agree with Joey. Shoot him up. You might get a touchdown. All right. What's next?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat here. Sorry. New York Giants at New Orleans. We're about halfway right now.
Wow. All right, I'll do these real quick. Giants, New Orleans. Daniel Jones, you're sitting him. He has a running ability, which is nice, but the Saints defense, they've been dominant. Shepard and Sterling, Shepard and Slayton are both injured.
Yeah.
So Ingram could be a sneaky start. He might get some extra targets his way. Galladay, but still, the Saints defense is pretty good. So if you have anybody else, try to pivot from anyone on the Giants offense besides Barkley. You're gonna start him, but lower your expectations. Saints run defense is really good.
Absolutely.
On the other side, you talk Saints, Joey.
Yeah, Saints. I'm gonna go with Kamara, and that's pretty much it for me. I don't really trust too much else outside of that. I mean, if you have Callaway, he finally had a pulse last week. Jameis is just too up and too volatile for me to trust. Especially if you're in a super flex league or a 2 QB league, you obviously have to play him. But outside of that, I wouldn't play him in a 12 team. It's just too hit or miss. I don't think this game's gonna be high scoring either. So that was another reason why I don't think there's a need to play Jameis Winston. Again, week 1 is an outlier, so I wouldn't count on that being something that you can expect. And then just to confirm I agree with Yosef on Barkley. 3 straight weeks, run defense is for real in New Orleans, so lower your expectations on Barkley. But you got to start him if you have him. All right, next one. Tennessee at New York Jets. I think Tennessee is a pretty big favorite here on the road.
Yeah, I'll do the Tennessee side. For Tennessee, Ryan Tannehill is someone you want to pivot from this game, I feel like. I think this is, I guess we'll just mention it now. Brian's jabroni is actually Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
I'm guessing for these reasons because both the receivers, Julio Jones and AJ Brown, are out this game. They're down to guys like Frisker and Chester Rogers. Is it Chester Rogers?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be really iffy. It's gonna be all Derrick Henry. I feel like this game, they're gonna pound the rock. So that's probably the only guy I'd start on the Tennessee side.
Hey Brian, what's up? Fans, we're a fan of. I'm a Raider fan. Yosef is a Carolina fan, and Brian is a Miami fan.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, right? I'm the only one that's like a real person here with the Raiders. But anyway, real quick, just because we talked about Tennessee, the receivers being out, who's in? Nick Westbrook-Akina, and Chester Rogers. So I guess Tyler, in your league, if you got any of these guys still out there, Westbrook-Akina, Chester Rogers, or even on the Giants, Colin Johnson, he's actually my favorite value play for DFS. I'm actually going to put him. He's a stone min receiver for DFS. I like Colin Johnson, and obviously the rookie Kadarius Toney's going to get some action. So if those guys are out there, Tyler, I mean, you're going to have a roster decisions between them and Zacchaeus. I just want to give you some help there. But look for those four guys because they probably might still be out there. But the Jet side, I think this might be a week where Zach Wilson might show a little something for the Jets fans. I'm not going to say he's going to do crazy well, but I think this is a type of defense where, like you saw Trevor Lawrence have some success against Cincinnati, I think you could see why the Jets took him number 2. Just some flashes. That being said, I'd only feel comfortable starting Corey Davis in season long.
Yeah, and to this point, Tyler say Braxton Berrios will have a breakout. That's if Jameson Crowder doesn't come back because he's back at practice.
Is he?
He's going to take those targets that were going to Braxton Berrios. Jameson Crowder, if you remember last year, he was a target machine for the Jets. He's that guy in the slot, and he's going to fill that position that Berrios was in. So
he followed his first full practice today.
There you go. So I would, if he's out there on your waivers, I mean, I doubt it in your 20 person league, but try to pick him up.
But yeah, definitely wait for that injury report being finally released before locking in Berrios on that. Yeah. That's just our thing there. KC at Philly, Kansas City 1-2, the last place in the AFC West. Who predicted that? 1-2, crazy. But hey, the season's 18 weeks this season, so there's a lot more football to be played. With that said, I think this is a KC FU game. And I expect the normal boys to be out there putting up a lot of points. Kelsey, Hill, Mahomes. Not too much on CEH, but if you have them, I think you're still starting them. It gave you some life last week. What say you? And go to Philly.
Philly. I mean, you're starting Hurts. You're starting Miles Sanders. I know people are kind of low on him. He barely got the carries, but he's gonna have a comeback week. They have to get him the ball. I mean, he's one of their star players. I think Devonta Smith might have a really good game. He'll finally come back, have a good game. And then Rager is a guy that is kind of he gets the air yards. So if he lands one of those deep balls, he can possibly do something for your team.
You mean Jalen Rigor Targaryen?
Yeah,
Right.
I picked him up on our league. But yeah, Devonta Smith, Hurts, Sanders, everyone else. Don't start. I'll start those 3 guys.
I'm gonna take the over on 2 carries for Miles Sanders. I know he only had 2 carries last game, so I'll take the over on that this week. And I think we're gonna get to the Pitt game, and I'll take the under on 19 targets for Najee Harris. So anyway, but I expect KC to roll on this one. Hector, you went full speculation mode. I hope you have a great starting roster because
look at that.
You have some upside there, but there's chances that. Deshaun Watson, I don't think he's going to see the field. Personally, I don't think he's going to see the field. If he hasn't been traded by now, I don't think he's not going to get traded. I think that's something that's going to be settled in the offseason. That's just my personal opinion. That's not Bible. Don't take that to the bank. But Josh Gordon, he's going to be on the practice squad for at least maybe 1 to 2 weeks, and then we might see him. But he's 30 years old now. I don't know how much you can really put stock in that. But again, he's got Mahomes there. So yes, I agree there's upside. Marlon Mack, we don't know where they're going to be trading him. Rashad Bateman, I picked him up. I agree with Tyler. I think he is a league winner. I picked him up in a couple leagues with IR spots, and he's sitting there for me. And Jeff Wilson, our pal Brian, in our league picked him up, I believe, right? He dropped.
I'm so mad. I'm so.
Who did he drop? He dropped someone that was actually relevant, but
dude, Jonnu Smith.
Oh, Jonnu Smith. Oh yeah. By the way, our Logan Thomas bet on Jonnu, he loses by default. He even lost trust in Jonnu in 3 weeks. So Logan Thomas wins that one, but he thinks Jeff Wilson could be a starter in the next 5 weeks just because I think he's out till week 7 is the earliest or latest he's out for on PUP. So it's Hector, a lot of upside, but a lot of ghosts on your bench.
Yeah, honestly, the only guys I would hold on to from here is Jeff Wilson if you have an IR spot, and Bateman.
Yeah, me too.
Bateman is also for me a suspect because he's on the Ravens and they're a running team. They have Watkins, they have Brown. So,
but I think that he is like the actual true receiver. He's a possession, but he can also has deep threat ability as well. So I think this is another receiving threat outside of Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews, where it can spread the field out a little bit more and even create more running lanes for Lamar. But I think he is a difference maker. Super Bowl picks. Go ahead.
Okay. Besides our own teams.
Besides our own teams.
Right, I'm gonna go on the obvious one in the NFC and go with the Los Angeles Rams. Oh, it could be
obvious.
To me, it is. I mean, they're looking the best right now. I'm going to Rams and NFC to win the Super Bowl, and I think they'll play. I think the Chiefs will make it. I think they'll still make it. Rams, Chiefs, and Rams win.
I think we're gonna have a repeat of last year. I don't care about the regular season for Tom Brady just because, and I don't like the guy. I'm a Raider fan. I don't like him. That Tuck rule still stings to this day. But I think whoever he loses to in the regular season, it's
You're
just
a Raider fan. Of course, he'll say
all mental for him. When I was there, he jogged out the field and he had that like just smirk on his face, like I know what's coming now. Next time I see you guys, so I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay, Kansas City.
Who do you think is gonna win?
Oh, I think Kansas City is gonna win this time though.
Okay.
I love Mahomes, man.
Who are your guys' Super Bowl picks? Comment them.
Comment. Yeah, please do.
And
I
your
love
favorite
that.
teams too.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank
you, Brian. I appreciate that.
I got a question here from Jace Bayoden.
Jace.
Sorry if I screwed that up. Bedouin. I traded Hurts, Sanders, and AB for Stafford and JT. Jonathan Taylor, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I think it's Jonathan Taylor.
I like Hurts better than Stafford just because of his running ability. But JT could possibly be a steal over with Sanders and AB, where JT I think is good. So it's a pretty even trade. It depends what you needed for your team. If you wanted the upside in JT later in the season, you got it there. And then Stafford for Hurts, it's just a swap. It's pretty much Stafford's obviously the better with the arm, and Hurts got the legs. So
I think it's a pretty even trade. Yeah, personal preference, I think, is what you're gonna get mixed bags here. I like Hurts personally for fantasy more, just because of his like Joseph said, his running ability. But you definitely got like a borderline first rounder type talent in JT over Sanders and AB. I think it's an even trade.
Thanks for your question, Jace.
Appreciate it, man. Like and subscribe. Arizona at Rams. Speaking of, we just started talking about Stafford, so I want to start on the Rams side. Go ahead.
All right, the Rams side. I really do like Stafford in this game. It's going to be. I feel like it's going to be a shootout on both sides. Stafford's going to throw the ball, and I do like the wide receivers, including Woods. I think he'll have a comeback game. He's been kind of sloppy lately. Kupp's been the main guy. I feel like Woods gets back on the saddle this game, and mark it right now. Book it. He gets a touchdown. Everyone heard it here live. Woods gets a touchdown against Arizona. The running backs is starting Henderson. If he's playing, I think he's
playing. McVay said today he's playing. Okay. Yeah, he's playing.
Michelle, I wouldn't start just yet. We don't know what his split's going to be. Joey thinks it's going to be 90-10, so definitely just keep him on your bench for now as a handcuff. And I think that's pretty much it. Higbee.
He's a startable tight end, though. He's a startable tight end, I think.
Yeah, and Arizona's been suspect against tight ends. So,
well, not yet this year, but because they played, they really haven't played anyone. I want to say they haven't played anyone. They played some good teams, but they haven't played. Well, I guess minus Jacksonville, but they haven't played a team that features a tight end. So their defense hasn't really been tested against tight ends. So I'd just keep that there. But I think he's definitely a startable tight end in Higbee. For Arizona, I think across the industry, you're going to see different things because some people might say Kyler Murray's kryptonite is the Rams. He's only played them 4 times in his career. I would maybe not say throw out, but he got injured. His shoulder got injured mid-year last year, and his running ability, he didn't run as much after that. So, and he had 2 mediocre games or subpar games against the Rams because he played a mid to late year last year. And I think his stats are something like 5 touchdowns to 4 picks and no rushing touchdowns. So his upside has been limited against the Rams in recent years. But I think you're still starting with confidence just because he is a healthy Kyler this year. And I think, and added benefit, like he's got a field stretcher in Rondale Moore, Christian Kirk. He can hit you in any which way. And of course, take out. So I like Kyler this week and just pick any one of his options. If you have one of them on your team, play the stack, DFS, play this game, expect some fireworks. Could start out slow, but I think the points will get there.
Question for you: do you start a Robert Woods or a Rob?
I'm gonna go Robert Woods. I'm gonna go Robert Woods this week.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Robert Woods this week. I love A Rob. I want him doing well, but like I don't know who the quarterback's starting right now. So as of today, that's the reason why I'm going that. It might change if I get a little more information, but I like Robert and your take on him getting a touchdown this week. So. Seattle and SF. This is one of my favorite sneaky game stacks of the week because Seattle is a porous defense. They have a lot of trouble this year. I'll start off on the SF side just because I like them so much this week. I love Kittle this week. He is healthy to play this week. I think he was battling a rib injury or something.
He's still questionable.
He's still been questionable, but I think he's playing. I think he's leading towards playing. He's logged some practices. So start Kittle. He drafted him high for a reason. The only questionable stuff on this team about starting this week is the run game. And you're always going to have that, even if all guys were healthy, just because they have a stable there. And Debo and Ayuk is finally out of the doghouse. Our man is back. I drafted him pretty high in early to mid rounds, anywhere from like 4th to 6th, 7th rounds. You probably would have taken Ayuk because I was that high on him, especially if I took him in the 4th. Start Debo, start Ayuk, start Kittle. I have some more stats for Jimmy G later, or take on Jimmy G later. And then, man, go ahead.
Yeah, for the Seattle side, it's in San Francisco at division game. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as people think. But
he doesn't. Okay, different take.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's going to be hard nosed game. So I like Chris Carson in this game. I think he'll have a pretty good game. Russell Wilson, you're starting him. I don't expect to actually, I'll take that back. Because I'm looking at the 49ers defensive backs, and I think
DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. It's a 52.5 total, man. They are expecting this to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah. And I know the 49ers have that pass rush, but Russell Wilson can get away from anything and buy some time and find Lockett and Metcalf down the field. And I think that will happen this game. So I like those receivers, obviously. Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, he's always a sneaky play to get that touchdown, and I feel like he'll probably have a touchdown this game. As far as guys we're skeptical of, Will Disley, I think he's going to get the nod at tight end. So he's a sneaky play if you really need a tight end this week. He's probably on your waivers.
Because Everett's out,
yeah. I think Gronk is out this week, so if you're out on Gronk, you need a tight end, pick up a Will Disley. You could, probably be a guy who might sneak into the end zone and get you some points. So, yeah, I think that pretty much covers the Seattle. So I'm going to speak a little bit on this game more later.
Yeah, go to the next one, man. Baltimore at Denver. Go ahead.
Baltimore, Denver. We got a question here. First, do I trade Jacoby Myers for Miles Sanders? I would. Especially if we need a running back. I mean, I do really like Jacoby Myers before. I would do the trade, but I do like Jacoby Myers. He's
especially for this week too.
He hasn't gotten the touchdowns, but if you look at his target share, his volume, he leads the team, and he gets mass amount of targets, which I love. I actually tried trading for him in our league, but That being said, running backs are way more valuable than the receivers. I do love to get starting running backs on my team. And a guy like Miles Sanders, I know he didn't have a great game last week, but he's a guy you could buy on the low. Obviously, a guy like Jacoby Myers, that's buying on the low.
Well,
so
I just wanted to throw a fun fact in there. Guess how many touchdowns Jacoby Myers has in his career?
Pretty low, right? Does he have a touchdown?
He does not have a touchdown. No. That's the whole thing. So I think that's funny as hell, man. He's a former quarterback too, playing receiver now. I think this week against a very suspect Tampa Bay secondary. I don't know how much Richard Sherman's going to play for Tampa Bay. I know he's newly acquired by them. I think he even said himself in the first press conference on, I think it was Wednesday's practice, where he's like, they're not expecting me to be up to speed, full go yet. I'm still learning my way here, know how they do things. Just the verbiage is a little different, XYZ, all those little things, nuanced things. But I don't even think he's the full patch to this defense either, right? Is they have a lot of injuries. I think Sean Murphy-Bunting's still out. Jamel Dean's definitely ruled out. Cockrell's filling in. Sherman might spot in some instances, but it's really Carlton Davis, and he's been getting shredded. Actually, all 4 touchdowns that Stafford threw last week, Carlton Davis was the nearest defender. So the most healthiest DB that they have pretty much gave up 4 touchdowns last week. So it is very suspect. So I like Jacoby Myers as being the option really for the New England this week to stay in the game. And that's pretty much it because you can't run on him. So there you go.
Yeah, start him this week, Churchville. And I remember you from last time, so thanks for coming back.
Yeah, appreciate it. Jake Kirchville, did you like and subscribe, bro?
Yeah, he has. I'm sure he has. He's a smart man.
The death stare, bro. No, man, I appreciate you coming back. Appreciate you chatting it up with everybody. Welcome to the Mafia. You talked about Baltimore or Denver? Sorry.
I don't think I didn't start it yet, but I'll take the Denver side. So Teddy Bridgewater, he's a guy is probably a streaming candidate for most people. I know Denver hasn't played anybody recently. So this is a big first test. Baltimore's defense, I don't think is as great as people say. They have some injuries on their side. That being said, I think Teddy's you can still consider him a streaming candidate this game. He could put up decent numbers. I really like Javonte Williams this game and Alvin Gordon. The Ravens' run defense actually has been pretty suspect. I think they're 27th as far as giving up points to fantasy running backs. So Alvin Gordon, Javonte Williams could be sneaky starts. At the wide receivers, Tim Patrick, I really, really like. I think he'll eat up this defense. I think only Jimmy Smith's like the only. You have Jimmy Smith, and I think Humphreys is back there now. So, but I still like Tim Patrick. As far as the other receivers, they have a lot of injuries, so I think that's the one you're really looking at. And then Noah Fant, I feel like will have lots of targets this game. He's on your team, you're starting him, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the Broncos offense. So must starts, I think just Noah Fant and Tim Patrick.
Yeah, I love Tim Patrick.
If you have, you're probably starting him if they're on the team, but other than that, Noah Fant and Tim Patrick start him.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be the lowest scoring game of the week, next to maybe the Chicago game. It only has a 45-point total. And I expect Denver to give Baltimore some fits. I mean, especially if Detroit gave them fits throughout the game last week. Detroit, Vic Fangio is a great defensive coordinator, great mind on that side of the ball. He's the head coach, but he also calls the defense. And then if they can stop Hawkinson, I think they can bracket Noah Fant and really just kind of focus their attention in their own game. And maybe even Tim Patrick, but I think they're just going to play with their athletes there, like what's his name, Marlon Humphrey, maybe taking Cortland Sutton on that side of the ball. So, but as far as I'm supposed to be talking about Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, and that's really the only one I really have confidence starting. You're of course going to start Mark Andrews, but Tyson Williams, I'm actually fading this week. I would keep him on my bench. I would assume that you would have someone better than Tyson Williams to trust at a running back spot. But if you have a flex spot open, you got to throw him out there. But just manage expectations. It is a low point total on both sides, team totals and a total for the game. And it's a very grounded. They both love to run the ball. So less possessions, less plays. That's the reason
Yeah,
for
it's gonna
that.
be a quick. I agree with your take. It's gonna be a quick game. They both like to run. It's gonna end fast, probably low scoring.
There you go.
So, how great for that is for fantasy? It's not that great, but
Not that great.
yeah.
Pittsburgh, Green Bay. We keep it moving.
For Green Bay. Oh man. So Pittsburgh star, you're benching Ben Roethlisberger. Do not start him. Najee Harris, I think he's gonna have another great week. I think Claypool is out this game. So, but I actually want to mention this game a little later because I have one of my good fellows in this game. But on the Steelers side, we have Deontay Johnson is probably going to be marked up with Alexander, depending where he is on the field. So hold your expectations. You're obviously starting him. Hold your expectations though. And then on the other side, we're gonna probably have James Washington. Juju Smith's a little bit banged up, so it's gonna be tough I feel like for the Steelers offense. Besides Najee Harris, you're obviously starting, and I actually do like Pat Freiermuth this game at the tight end position. I feel like they'll lean on him a little bit since the wide receivers are banged up. And I don't think Najee Harris is going to have his great 14 catch game again, but I think it'll be somewhere around 5-6 catches.
I mean, the guy's played 190 some odd snaps out of like 203 or 200.
He's a true bell cow.
I mean, you're not going to get anyone close to this all year. So if you have Najee, you're rolling him out every week, of course, no matter the matchup. On the just one note on the Pittsburgh side with Claypool injury, I just looked it up. I guess he tweaked his hamstring recently. It was Thursday, so that's going to be tough. Deontay is playing. He was banged up early in the week, but he logged a full practice, so he's playing. I like Deontay this week, but outside of him and Najee, that's pretty much it. If you want to take a shot on Freiermuth with Yosef's call, I don't disagree with you there. He's getting more and more opportunity every week over Ebron, so there's a little long shot there if you want to stash him as a tight end too. That's another option. On Green Bay side, Devonta Adams eat this week. I think we haven't really seen a really true dominant week. Yeah, he had a great game last week. He also took that shot, man. You saw his eyes, and then he was out for a play or two and came back in. Game. I was shocked that they allowed him to play back in, but he did. Shocked. Yeah, and obviously no reports. Yeah, no reports came out saying like they, didn't follow protocol or anything. I guess he passed all the tests and he came back in the game and finished it up.
Apparently, if there's no flag, it's a different protocol.
Maybe I don't know, but I mean, when you saw him on the floor, his eyes were just like,
look bad. Yeah,
like it was bad. But anyway, guy's a beast. Play him every single time. Of course, there's no question there. Aaron Jones. I'm trying to think of the other subordinate guys. Bob Tonyan. I think he has a good
Scatling is injured and he's not playing this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't play anything else outside of as far as receiver wise. I would only say Bob Tonyan, but they use Minkah Fitzpatrick in a lot of ways, and I think as Bob Tonyan is a receiving threat in the middle of the field, I think that's going to be his main assignment. Is that because I don't think James Washington down the seam is really threatening either. So Jair Alexander. Should possibly be on a Deontay, but the ADOT is so close to the line of scrimmage that those passes are hard to defend anyway. So he still should get catches.
He'll get his targets.
Yeah, so there you go. Tampa Bay, New England, the game of the week.
Oh man!
Start everybody on Tampa Bay. Everybody's in play on Tampa Bay. 50 burger. I'm calling it now. Or you know what? Okay, 40 burger or more. I'll say 40 plus. I think Tom Brady is here for a reason. And to really put an FU to Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick knows him better than anyone, but Tom is the GOAT for a reason. I respect that guy as much as I dislike the guy, but I don't think New England's offense can really sustain drives to keep up with Tampa Bay's offense. Again, their defense is pretty porous, but it's a young rookie quarterback, and I think Todd Bowles on the defensive end is going to apply a lot of pressure. They're just going to rely on to play hard press man coverage and get the ball out quick and force them into mistakes. So that's why I think Tampa Bay should roll here.
Yeah, especially Gronk is out this game, so those wide receivers look extra juicy. All three of them, AB, Godwin, Evans, you're starting them. The running backs, I mean...
No, you're going to put Lenny because Gio Bernard's out. Lenny's going to be in on the second 2-minute drill and third downs. I think he's going to get all the work. I don't expect Rojo to get hardly anything. I mean, besides any breathers. But I think all the passing down work still goes through Lenny now that Gio is out.
Yeah, he's like a flex play to me.
Oh yeah, he's on my flex right now. Yeah.
Cool. And then on the other side, we have New England. Man, I'm not starting Damian Harris. That's for sure. If you have someone else, I'll put him in. He's actually my jabroni. I'll speak about him later. And then Mac Jones, don't start him. Jacoby Myers, we spoke about. I feel like he's a guy you can still start. The Tampa Bay defensive backs injured. Jacoby Myers is a target machine. So he's a guy you can have confidence playing still, even though it's a good pass rush from Tampa Bay. And then that's pretty much it for me in the New England side. I'm not starting Aguilar. I'm not starting. I know Kendrick Bourne had a pretty good game last week, but I'm going to wait and see on him. Jacoby Myers is probably my only guy I'd be willing to start on that side.
There you go. Last game, Las Vegas and LAC. My Raiders against the Chargers on another Monday night. I'm gonna stick with my. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let you pick the Raiders on the people, so that way people don't say.
Oh, what? No, I don't want to do it.
Let you do it. I love Herbert this week. I love Eckler. I love Mike Williams. I love Keenan Allen. Even throw a flyer on Jared Cook just because it's there. There's all in play. Even though the Raiders defense has been playing a lot better, this could be one of those weeks where the bubble could burst. I expect it to be a normal division rivalry matchup where it could be pretty tight going in, but second half adjustments, the floodgates start opening up for some points. This is also a 50-plus total, so I expect some points being scored in this game. But Mike Williams is a print fest. I think he is actually surprisingly the main guy in this offense, just because I've been saying it week in and week out that he is the Mike Thomas from the Joe Lombardi offense right here, right now. So the only thing that would pretty much derail Mike Williams is an injury, just because he's been known to have some injuries to happen to him and derails his seasons. But that's the only thing that will really stop him. But you're going to start Keenan Allen and Eckler and all them and come with confidence.
For sure. Before I do my question here, Steelers D or Bears D? Steelers against the Packers, Bears against the Lions.
I would pick Bears over the Steelers this week. That's about it. I mean, I know Steelers D does get TJ Watt back. I get that. But I just think overall, I expect,
Well, Lions will commit more turnovers, most likely. That's what you're looking for the defense.
Yeah.
On the other side, we have who were we on? Sorry.
You're going to pick the Raiders.
Raiders. Oh, great.
Yeah, people, I don't want to say I'm biased. That's it.
I think it's going to be a high scoring game.
Okay, we agree.
I think Waller's going to have one of his great games. They're going to heavily target him. And then I just picked up Josh Jacobs, so I'm high on him. Hopefully he comes back. He's still questionable, so keep an eye on that. But he does come back. I think this is one of his. He always does great against the Chargers. I remember last year he had 2 touchdowns against them, and I feel like he could do the same this week. Chargers' run defense is pretty bad, so start up Jacobs. If Jacobs is out and Peyton Barber gets the nod again, he's a flex option if you have to start him. I don't like
Jacobs is playing. Don't worry about that. He's playing.
Hopefully.
No, he's playing.
All the right receivers. I think that's the biggest question.
Yeah.
Brian Edwards and Henry Ruggs, even Hunter Renfrow. I actually like Hunter Renfrow the best out of the 3 for PPR reasons. He's a high volume guy, hard target guy, and they actually been going to him in the red zone, so that's even more upside. And then Brian Edwards, Henry Ruggs. I'd rather not start them unless you're very desperate. They have good games here or there, but I'd rather not. If you're gonna start one, start Renfrow. But let me ask you a question: Would you rather start Henry Ruggs or Rondell Moore?
God, they're both similar. I will say that statistically speaking, Ruggs has been running more routes because Rondell started at around 38% routes run to 50 to week 2 and then 35. So we saw his lowest route percentage and routes run in last week. So it's hard to trust Rondell Moore, also because there's so many receiving options. It's tough. This is a close one. I'm going to lean Henry Ruggs, and it's not because of a Raiders bias. It's more because actually, if you watch the games, his route tree is developing, and they're using him in various ways. So I'm leaning Henry Ruggs there.
I think the consistency is with Ruggs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a question. I'm a bot.
I'm a bot. Are you sure you're a bot? We don't want no bots in the moment. No, I'm kidding.
Pretty good question from a bot.
From a
Gronk
bot.
and Boyd for Kittle. Is it worth it? That's a tough one, bro.
Well,
I would say no.
what if you need it now? If you can make the trade now, I mean, obviously Gronk being out, right? Gronk, you said Gronk was ruled out? I don't think he's
right now, yeah, that's worth it. But
I mean, is he ruled out? I didn't think he was
he's
ruled
out.
out.
He's out.
Whoa, what happened to him?
It's the ribs.
Oh yeah, he did take a shot by what was it, Terrell Lewis or something
I think
like that.
He just doesn't want to play against Belichick. He's like,
that's weird. That's weird, man. I thought he'd just I'm sure he's trying to fight to play in that game, but I mean, yeah, for this week, if the guy wants to pull the trigger on the Gronk being out, yeah, do it for this week because you're also getting Kittle. But it is tough for that. I'm assuming you're getting Kittle for this. Boyd is a target monster though. You're giving up a lot. But again, with Gronk's injury, I just think like you could boost your roster right now and in the short term, even for next week, because he is an older guy. He might not be ready for next week.
He's not be able to do it for this week because Boyd already played.
Oh, that's right. Boyd already played. Yeah. ESPN won't let you do it. But is it worth it? Short answer. Maybe.
No.
Maybe. That's tough, man. That's tough.
It's you know, yeah. I really like Boyd. That's the thing.
Yeah, me too. I think Boyd is like if you can maybe sweeten another position.
Unless you have another great receiver. I mean, if you let us know if you have another.
If you're not playing Boyd, I guess maybe.
Yeah, he's on your bench. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I think that's probably a better way to answer it. Okay, let's go, Goodfellas, and we can go through Brian's really quick. Obviously, let's go. Brian's Goodfellas were Allen Robinson this week and Devontae Smith. I'm trying to look at the matchups here. Yeah, I mean, KC is a porous defense. I think this could be a bounce back spot. I'm thinking for Brian here. And also A-Rob. We both liked A-Rob this week, all three of us apparently. And then on the Jabroni side, Tannehill and Zach Moss. I'm sure he's expecting because his top receiving options are out. Plus, this could be a very big Derrick Henry week. So just not a lot of opportunity there for Tannehill. And then Zach Moss. I mean, does anyone really trust the Bills running back? It's tough to trust.
I don't really. I think Zach Moss will have an okay game.
No, I mean, I'm not saying I'm saying with trust wise. I mean, I'm not saying he can't, and I do like him more than Singletary for sure. But again, with an offense or with Houston being the opponent, I mean, this game could be just thrown all the way through the air, and then maybe some garbage time runs to close out the clock. So it really might not be there. But hey, that's his picks. Go ahead with yours, or we can go one and one. We'll alternate, sure. But go ahead.
My first good fella is Brandon Ayuk. We talked about this game versus Seattle. George Kittle's a little banged up, so I'm not sure how much they're going to lean on him this game. Of course, there's still Deebo Samuel, but we saw Brandon Ayuk really step up last game. He's finally in the starting lineup. He's finally getting the targets. He got a touchdown last week, and I feel like they're going to even use him more this game because of the banged up Kittle, because of the running backs being banged up. Mitchell might not play, so they're going to really the thing with the Niners is they really like to lean on the one specific guy each week. I feel like it's always different. It was Deebo, it was Kittle, it was the running backs, and now I feel like Brandon Ayuk against Seattle, he's going to have one of his breakout games. Book it, my good fella.
There you go. Okay. I'm just going to stick on with the 49ers. I like them this week too. My good fella is Jimmy G. Off the board take here.
Stack it.
What?
Stack it.
There you go. Especially for DFS players like myself out there. This is something that I did like this game. This game script should be pretty plentiful with points. I hope so, for my sake there. I don't think it's unreasonable for Jimmy G to get 3 touchdowns here. I mean, Kittle, Deebo,
if Lance isn't taking away, right?
So what?
That's if Lance doesn't take them away.
That's true. There is that. But look, there's a lot of risk more on my part. I'm trying to go away from mainstream.
You think he's going to have those long passes for touchdowns, right? It's not going to be like those red zone.
Yeah, or midfield 20-yarders or so. That like those reds. If they're inside the 5, yeah, I think Trey Lance can definitely vulture touchdowns here. But I don't think it's unreasonable with the skill position players around Jimmy G that he can't have a three touchdown game. So start Jimmy G. If you need to stream a quarterback, I feel confident. Seattle's, I was kind of looking at their defense here. They only gave up 16 points against Indy, but that's Carson Wentz. They gave up 30 plus points against Tennessee, and they also gave up 30 points against Minnesota. I just think that this could be a pretty good game for game theory here. Go ahead with your next one.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a ledge here, and we spoke about this game earlier. I'm going to go with Pat Freiermuth, tight end.
Wow, that's off the wall. There you go.
That is off the wall. But I feel like I'm hitting this one. I talked about how Deontay Johnson is probably going to be matched up on Alexander. He still get the targets, don't get me wrong. But with the wide receivers banged up and Johnson on Alexander, I feel like they're going to lean on the tight ends. And you stated earlier, they've been throwing the Freiermuth more and more every game. He's been a red zone target. So I feel like this is a game he gets another touchdown, and they'll lean even more on him. And he can have a 6-7 reception game and a touchdown, or like 50-60 yards. And to me, for what he's projected, that's pretty good. That's a good fella, and he's someone, if you have that Gronk injury, you can put into your lineup.
All right, good pick. I'm going with Calvin Ridley as my second good fella this week, and I probably need a moment to probably evaluate my head here, just because my next two, I think, who was another team that's really struggling? Oh, Seattle's defense has so many holes, but Matt Ryan and the Atlanta offense has so many different things to figure out. I mean, they're adjusting to Arthur Smith. We touched on that in the matchup, but Ridley's still seeing plenty of opportunity. He has 29 targets in 3 weeks. 8.8 yards per catch is the biggest, I guess, question mark is like, why? Because that's the lowest of his career. I think his career averages are 13.7 and 9.1 last year. So near 10 or around 10. And he's well below it this year. As Matt Ryan's throwing accuracy is the thing that's been struggling the most. And efficiency is really what leads to quarterback production and quarterback success. And efficiency is what Matt Ryan's been struggling with. But I think you can figure it out against a porous Washington football team secondary. I think his matchup is great. And hopefully, with my good fellow riding on it, he gives me a win there.
Nice. So talking about our jabronis now. I got Christian Kirk versus the Rams. So the Rams have Ramsey, obviously. They have Aaron Donald. They have a pretty good defense. I do feel like the Cardinals will score. It'll be a pretty high-scoring game. But the way where Christian Kirk lines up, mostly will be on Ramsey's side. Hopkins usually stays on one side. So I don't think they're going to be matched up as often. And I feel like because of that, Hopkins will have a great game. Maybe Rondell Moore. I think Murray's going to run the ball a lot to be able to get away from Donald and get those yardage. So I feel like the odd one out here is Christian Kirk. And just based off projections, I don't feel like he's going to reach that projection. So this is why I label him as a jabroni this week.
Jaylen Ramsey, he moves around a lot. He plays even outside backer, so he doesn't truly shadow anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Although I do still feel that like a matchup like this against like anyone in the NFC West can win the division, but I think
it's always a brutal matchup.
But I expect him to pay a little more attention to Nuke in this week, but he's also banged up, so I think they can continue. Floating Ramsey around to different guys and just playing their scheme. They play a lot of quarters coverage. They play a lot of number three, a lot of zone. So that's why like a lot of people are in his comments or on his Twitter, and why he doesn't really respond to is like, you obviously guys don't know what you're talking about. You don't watch the games because we play a lot of zone. We don't play a lot of man. But anyway, neither here nor there. My jabroni this week, or one of my two, is John Taylor. And yes, I know Miami has a crappy run defense. We saw Peyton Barber go for over 100 yards. But my reason why I'm saying a jabroni, O-line is in shambles. Quentin Nelson, their best O-lineman, the road grader, is not playing this game. Carson Wentz is their quarterback. He's still questionable. So Jacob Eason could also be starting. That's another detriment to the matchup. And then is the fact that Nahim Heinz is getting more and more work. If by chance that they are behind, like I said, third downs and 2-minute drill, or even 4-minute drill towards the end of halves, Nahim Heinz is getting a lot of the work. I think I had some stats here for that. Was 68 routes run this season with a 14.4% target share for Nahim Heinz this year, compared to only 45 routes and under a 10% target share for Jonathan Taylor. So he's seeing less targets in the passing game. And of course, we're in PPR. So I think more of those full points in the passing game are going to Nahim Heinz. So just to manage expectations. You're still going to start John Taylor, but manage expectations this week.
Would you do Jonathan Taylor or David Montgomery?
I mean, they're both great matchups. Just because he's my jabroni, I want to stay on brand. I'm gonna go with Demont as a better play this week. But sure, both of them can completely do well this week, 100%.
All right, for my second jabroni, Damian Harris. I feel like I pick on Damian Harris, but
I did too.
He's on my team.
So. Yeah, I did too. So
yeah, I mean, it's also the Tampa Bay run defense. I mean, I always pick the running backs versus Tampa Bay, and it always comes through because they can never run on them. The run defense is amazing. Damian Harris is going to he had a tough time against New Orleans because of that same reason. Tampa's even better against the run. So it's going to be tough for him. I'm not expecting too much. I know James White got injured, but it doesn't really affect Damian Harris too much because they're both different types of backs. And more
JJ Taylor might be taking those James White roles in this offense.
Exactly. So, yeah, he's my jabroni next week. Although I do want to mention hold on to him because his schedule really opens up after this week. I think they got Houston, they got Miami. So, yeah, hang on to him.
Good times ahead. I like that because I do have him in a league or two here. My last jabroni is Noah Fant against the Ravens this week. And we all saw how they bottled up TJ Hawkinson. Of course, you're probably saying, Joey, well, Travis Kelce did well against Baltimore, right? But Travis Kelce, right?
And Noah Fant,
right? And yeah, Waller's Waller. Noah Fant is an up-and-comer for sure. And he's definitely a focal point in this offense now. Teddy Bridgewater likes to check it down. He plays a lot more efficient, and he's doing really well himself. But I'm going on a limb here too as well and just saying I think that Patrick Queen and company, he's a great linebacker in coverage. Also Malik Harrison. I think they can pay attention to him and limit his production and going in with him as a jabroni, manage expectations there.
Yeah, I think the Ravens learned from getting whooped by Waller and Kelce. They were like, we need to focus on the top tight ends on this team. And that's what they did with Hawkinson, and they're probably going to do the same with Denver.
One thing to note, too, is like if you watch quarterbacks that are efficient, quarterbacks like a Teddy Bridgewater or as the pinnacle of Tom Brady, they like to target the middle of the field and short. So the short field passing game, but in the middle of the field, and to like take advantage of linebackers that are great in coverage with more athletic guys. So I think this is like a focal point for some defenses like Baltimore here. So I just want to put that out there.
All right.
We can go quick here. Damn. Oh, all right. Let's do this quick. All right. Washington, Atlanta. Feel free, guys, to add in on the chat here. If you have a pick that you like, write down who you pick. We're going through a matchup. Say who you like. Go ahead, put it in the comments. Washington, Atlanta. At Atlanta.
We'll name Brian's first. And then we'll
that's right. You have his list up?
I'll
have it up real quick. Hold on. All right. For Washington, Atlanta. They're not in this order, of course, probably, but he picked Washington.
It's at Atlanta?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Atlanta this game.
I am
what's
going
the over-under? What's the...
Hold on, I got you right here.
The line?
Of course, it's like the other one that's not on this side here. Hold on. It is Washington, Atlanta. It is -2.5 Washington with a 49-point total. You sticking with Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Atlanta.
I'm
thinking of making it my upset, but
I'm going with Washington here. Right. Houston and Buffalo. I think we're going to be all sweeping here. Yeah, he picked the Bills. You like the Bills?
Yep.
All right, Bills sweep there. Detroit at Chicago.
Detroit.
And what did he put here? Where is it at? Did he miss it? Oh, he picked the line. Oh, man.
Dang it, he did.
Yeah, he did, dude. I like Detroit too this week. I was at least gonna have like one of you, but I like it. You know what? Oh man, I'm gonna have to go I'm gonna differentiate from you guys. I'm gonna go with Chicago just because I want to.
Are Bears the favorites?
Yeah, Bears are the favorite.
So I'm gonna do the upset. I'm gonna do the upset of the Lions over the Bears.
Okay, I respect it.
Just so I can get
go there. I wanted to go there, but you guys already went there. You guys are trying to be sharp, so I'm gonna go different there. Carolina at Dallas. Obviously, I know where you're going. Of course, I know where you're going.
Easy.
Carolina, where did he put? He went Cowboys, and I'm also gonna go Cowboys. So Yosef's by himself again.
Wow. Hater on the Panthers.
Indy at Miami. Of course, he's going Miami. Who are you going with?
I'm going with Indy.
I am going with Miami. Yosef, you're going to be either taking a wide lead.
Really?
I mean, seriously here. Cleveland at Minnesota.
Ooh. I'm going Cleveland.
He also took the Browns. I'm going to go Minnesota. I had to differentiate somehow. Okay. New York Giants at New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah, we're all in New Orleans here. Tennessee at New York Jets.
Tennessee.
And Brian goes Titans. I'm going the Jets.
Wow. Let's see, upset or what?
I might be my upset right there. Wait, are there? Yeah, the Raiders. I think are also upset, but I'm not going to pick them as my upset. I'm still going to pick them. I'm gonna go with there. I think. You know what? No, I'm not gonna do that because I think it's a King Henry week. Fuck that. I just forgot. Oh, sorry. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I actually do think it's a King Henry week. KC at Philly.
Yeah, I mean, I've been picking KC. I've been wrong, but no, I have to go KC. I can't.
And my thing just went. My phone just went to sleep here. Oh. He picked the Chiefs as well. Arizona at Rams.
What's Brian's pick?
He went Rams. I'm going Arizona.
Oh, man. You know what? I can't go back on my Super Bowl pick. I'll pick the Rams.
All right.
Plus, cool. I have Kirk being a De Bruyne.
All right, and he picked the Seahawks as upset here for Seattle at San Fran. I'm with him. Actually, no, I'm gonna go with this is gonna be. Oh no, the Seahawks are the dogs, so I'm gonna go with SF here. As much as I like Seattle, who are you taking?
I've been struggling with this one all week, but I'm gonna go with SF.
All right, so Brian's by himself there. Balti at Denver. I think this could be my upset pick here. Oh no, Denver is actually favored. Wow.
Let's get to this question real quick. All right, fellas. Am I starting Bobby Trees or OBJ? I'm guessing that's Robbie Anderson?
No, right? Bobby Trees is Robert Woods.
Oh.
You heard of Bobby Trees? Wow, man.
No, I haven't heard of him.
Bobby
Trees. You know all the nicknames. You're the nickname guy.
Yeah, man. Bobby Trees. This is actually a tough one because I like OBJ's matchup. Rashad Breeland's been very, very bad. As far as on the Minnesota side, and Minnesota's secondary has been really suspect. And he is the real only option in the passing game. And he looked pretty good. So upside wise there, I think just because the offense is still run through the ground and through Chubb and Hunt, I think OBJ is more of a ceiling play. Bobby Trees, although he hasn't proven it to be a floor guy, but we both suspect this being a bounce back spot for Bobby Trees. So I like. Oh man, no, I still go back and forth with this, man.
Yeah, I mean, to help you out a little bit, I like both. I think
we both like both.
This week, but I'm gonna pick OBJ just because, like you said, that the Vikings pass defense is suspect. Landry's still out. OBJ is his second week back, and he already looks good in his first week. I would go OBJ if I had to choose. I feel like he gets a touchdown this game. He gets one of those long bombs over Breeland.
Yeah, man. OBJ's matchup is so good. It is tough to go against him, but surely the Falcons will focus on Kupp. I think you mean the Cardinals, and I agree with you there. Just because like Kupp's efficiency, like his efficiency is absurd. Like he's not going to have 20-some odd touchdowns in a year.
They have to shift the coverage to him eventually.
Eventually, right? Right. So I think OBJ is a smarter play just because of that purpose. Yeah, man. I'm going to go OBJ. But know this, Carter. I think you can't really go wrong. And I would probably hold on to this decision till Sunday and kind of just go with your gut. And kind of wait till maybe some pregame reports, because NFL Sunday Countdown, Fantasy Live, they do a lot of in-game, like, reporters that are on site, and they talk to yeah, you got it. They talk to a lot of the people there, so they kind of get a little game script kind of theory going on, and then just kind of go with your gut there. But as of Friday night, we're both leaning OBJ. But Robert Woods is due. I can just say that. He's due.
Let's hope, because I'm starting him. That gives
There you
me
go.
confidence.
Oh, man, that's a tough question there. All right, Baltimore, Denver. He was saying, where's he at? Baltimore, Denver. Wow. He picked the Ravens.
I'm going Denver.
And what would I say? Was Denver the favorite? Yeah, Denver is the favorite.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go against Denver because they're a division rival of the Raiders, and Baltimore is going to be my pick. Joseph by himself again. All right, Pittsburgh at Green Bay. I think we're all going to roll there with Packers, right?
Yeah.
And Tampa Bay, New England, we're all rolling with Bucks, or do you think New England's going to put up a fight?
No, Bucks.
All right, and the last one is going to be he actually didn't pick the Monday night game. He didn't pick the Monday night game.
Oh, he didn't?
He did. He forgot. I know he's going to be picking the Chargers. He doesn't pick the Raiders ever. He hates them. So we'll ask him.
I have Josh Jacobs, so I'm hoping for a good Raider game. So I'm going Raiders.
No way, bro. You're not even going to let me get my upset pick there?
Dang. No, I can't let you have that.
Well, they're going to be my Well, I still gain a point if we both win anyway, right? Because it's +2. All right, Joey. And then Brian. Brian, I'll put in parentheses here. I'll ask him to confirm, but we'll go through that. And just a quick recap, the season stats on that, if you guys care. It's our little game here. But I'm in the lead with 29 correct picks, Joseph 28, and Brian 26. And just for also notice that we always do these picks on the Sunday, Monday slate. We don't do any Thursdays. So if our numbers are lower than your pick'ems, your ESPN pick'em leagues in the 30s, that's probably why, because that's a game every week.
We should do it the Thursday pick'em on Tuesday when we do our live.
Okay, that way we can add to it. That's fine. All good there.
Yeah. I thought you were trying to be cool and saying thanks, guy. But I guess you misspelled it.
All good, guys. Well, I appreciate every single one of you for commenting this whole stream and checking us out. We will be, if there are any big updates, like I say every week, we'll put them in the comment section of the latest video. So come check that out if anything drastic changes with what we've said in the show. Anything else to add, Yosef, before we sign off?
No, not really. Just make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. It really helps. We're really trying to get into this and help you guys out. We enjoy doing it. So
yeah,
let us know if you like it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. It really helps us. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for asking your questions. And
shout out to shout out to Brian Jeddick. I like the little differentiation of like random, like, who do you guys like in Super Bowl picks. So if you have like any little mini segments that you guys want us to do, learn more about us, we want to engage with you as well. You can find us on Instagram at Fantasy Football Mafia. Also on TikTok, I think it's still the same at Fantasy Football Mafia. I'm thinking of also maybe making another handle for Twitter, just so I can add any updates of ours. Because I would say since Joseph does all the other stuff, I think I can do a little bit more on the Twitter sphere. Yeah, there you go. And then I can also add any updates for this purpose. So follow us, give us a follow, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.